everyone, and welcome back to Batmania. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And today, I forgot to do my Batman voice. Today, we're tackling the Batman-Superman movie. And not Batman versus Dracula. We'll get to that later. But
I'm excited for that.
This has both of them.
I might try to read Red Rain before we do that.
Yeah, I never read that.
I've never read it either.
I haven't read any of the Batman Dracula things.
I don't know if we'd have time.
2 or 3 things?
It's 3. It's a trilogy.
Okay.
But they're not...
and it's all connected. Is there another Dracula thing that's not part of that whole thing? Or?
I mean, I'm sure Batman's fought Dracula at some point. But those are not... Like, they're not all Batman Dracula. Like, I think Batman kills Dracula in the first one, and then there's just 2 more Batman vampire stories.
Yeah. I've seen that art. It's super gothic and cool.
Yeah, it's Kelly Jones, who does the cover for much of the Nightfall issues. She does the real long...
I see.
But I would like to read at least that first one before we get to that movie. I don't know if we'd have time to do a vault or anything, but I'd like to read it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where we're at.
I might try and grab that.
At that point, of course, this is going up well after we've recorded it, so who knows what you'll have seen already by that point. Although we shouldn't be quite anywhere near, or not, relatively near Halloween yet, as this is coming out. This should be September, but anyway, it's weird. We're in a different place and time right now than you will be as you're watching this.
The whole country's not on fire yet.
We are take 2. Now we'll just keep going. So today we're tackling the Batman Superman movie, which we are watching and talking over because it says movie on the cover, and that's the only reason. Because this is a 3-parter in Superman. And in the Superman animated series, the Bruce Timm series, and it's not actually a proper movie. It's not a direct-to-video thing. This was aired as 3 episodes, and the reason we're doing this is because we decided ultimately, with some other things that we weren't sure if we should tackle, that just anything that there was a release that said movie on with Batman in the title, we are tackling. So this counts, and that's also the reason that I did it on Rewind. Even though it isn't actually technically a movie. So we're at least being consistent. I already do have a commentary on this, so I don't have much left to say. I did one with Steve a while back, and I like this a lot. I've kind of said my piece on it, so
I watched this.
We're going to watch it again, folks!
A couple of years ago, I bought the complete Superman animated series.
Yeah.
And I still remember that this is where I left off. This is the last thing I watched in Superman animated series. I keep meaning to get back to it, and I just haven't. It's somewhere in season 2. I that's all I know.
That
so it's
show,
still us, so I watch it.
That show, in a way, remains kind of the best thing they did.
It's great. Yeah, I used to think...
I'm not saying it's necessarily my favorite thing. It's just consistently good, almost all the way through.
Batman Beyond, I used to like to say was my favorite of all of those. Having gone back through Batman Beyond, that show doesn't hold up as much as I want to.
That's right.
Back half, really.
Yeah.
The front half's everything I remember. The back half, and that's a show that needed more arciness to it.
Yes.
And it didn't have.
Because early on it did, and then they lost it.
Yeah. Where's?
And it clearly was supposed to be, and then they lost it. We've talked about it. And we'll talk about this when we do more Batman.
But I agree.
Stuff.
I think Superman might be their best thing.
Yeah, because it's got that timeless quality that Batman animated series has, but they've refined it at that point. It's polished. They already know for sure what they have a real particular vision about that show, and it isn't sometimes a cartoon and sometimes an animated series in the way Batman is.
And it does continuity in the best way I think any of those shows do.
Mm-hmm.
Where like there are seeds and there are things that build on each other, and that apocalypse thing is looming real early on and builds, but it's not archy. All of the episodes still stand alone unless they're multi-parters.
Yeah, we get to see the first time Superman deals with kryptonite, and then you have kryptonite throughout it. Like, it has a timetable.
Yeah, I like that.
So anyway, we're doing Batman Superman, and as we said again, this is actually part of that show, but it obviously plays pretty well as a movie. And I said this in the rewind, but it's kind of interesting that it's in 3 parts because each part does act as an act of the film, and it's kind of nice to have them seamless and together and not broken up in episodes.
And this is after Batman had moved over and become the new Batman Adventures and had gotten their redesign that was redesigning Batman the Animated Series in the Superman the Animated Series style.
And we'll talk about that because it's odd to put them both on screen together. Because you say it's in that style, I've never fully agreed with that, and we'll talk about it as we see it. Cool. Because I feel like we're looking at two different sorts of character models on screen together. We'll talk about that as we watch it. But anyway, because I've heard you say that, and I've never bought into that. But we'll talk about it as we watch it. Anyway, if you want to watch it with us, make sure to get your DVD. However you're going to watch it. I think this is the only way to watch it. But there are a number of different collections that have it with other things. So anyway, get it to timestamp 0 past all the menus and get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. Eric, just an hour tonight.
Yeah.
We're not plugged in.
Oh no. Is this going to open with the...
you gotta get plugged in here.
With the Batman Superman intro?
No, it's not going to open with an intro at all. Cause
the Batman Superman movie!
Yeah, there it is.
World's finest!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it opens sort of like a movie, but it really just takes the intro out.
Yeah. That's a lot of writers.
Because that was really more like just having a the name of the episode on the...
That's interesting. It said Steve Gerber was one of the writers. I didn't know he worked on any of these. I wonder who that could be. Black hair, Joker music,
that voice,
real New Yorker voice,
those legs.
Oh, it was Harley the whole time. I really just all this Joker design needs is lips. That's always been my big complaint with this Joker design.
Yeah, and one thing that's smart about it is it's even so much more simpler than the original Joker design that you're not gonna mess it up as often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were even talking about that with Mask of the Phantasm. That there were a couple of shots where the model where he gets off model.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got to the season 4 stuff, I don't think we ever really.
Well, and that's the big thing that I think it took from Superman. Was Superman was so simplified down, and that's what I really think is that New Batman Adventures is that they made way simpler models.
Yeah, but they went to even a third level of simplicity when they got to the New Batman Adventures, I think.
I mean, the Riddler's terrible.
Because when we see, but I just mean character models in general. When we put, and then there's the anorexic Gordon. When we put Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent next to each other, they don't look like they live in the same world.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that when we get to it. But I totally agree with you. I think that Joker design is fine if you put lips on it. And it's really interesting because Harley is about the only character that doesn't look any different at all.
Mm. And she fits in both.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't stand out as like, oh, well, they didn't change the design. Like, she looks exactly the same, and she fits in both.
The one thing they improved on with the Gordon design, we'll just talk about animation the whole time, make character models. The one thing, I just want to be superficial. I talked about all the story stuff last time. I don't even feel like talking about that. We took away his weird Jerry curl thing.
I like the Jerry curl thing.
The ice cream cone.
I like the ice cream cone.
It's really silly.
We gave him a military haircut.
And it looks so strange whenever you get straight on with it, but...
Kind of like a pompadour. Or an animated pompadour. Have you ever noticed that?
We're still talking about
there's a distinct look to pompadours in animation that just doesn't exist. Like, you look at Egon in Real Ghostbusters, that's not what a pompadour looks like in real life in any way. But we have uniformly made it like a roll on your head. I don't know what that is.
I think I may be to a point where I prefer... I'm still just going to talk about visuals. That's all I'm going to do. No, I think I still prefer... I think I've gotten to a place where maybe I prefer the Batman belt with the actual pockets that open up at the top.
As opposed to the capsules?
Yeah.
I've always liked that, but I'm a Frank Miller guy.
Or as opposed to just the metal one where you can't really tell where the actual pockets happen and you just have to suspend your disbelief with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that always looks better for whatever reason. I think it's just because it's a simpler, more kind of 1940s look. I think that always looks better without the yellow symbol.
Okay.
And you see that a lot. Very often, if you get the pouch utility belt, you'll get just the black bat symbol and the more gray suit.
Well, again, that might be Dark Knight Returns.
Sure.
Because Miller does the big pouches, and he also gets rid of the yellow symbol.
Yeah, it seems like that's how Jim Lee prefers to draw it.
And Jim Lee's big on Frank Miller, so...
Yeah.
Well, and that's an interesting thing because we do that. One of the things with both,
you gotta have the classic airplane thing. It's kind of fun that in trying to make this a consummate Superman and Batman thing at the same time, we almost like reintroduce ourselves to these characters, even though it's in the middle of a TV show. Like, I feel like this is approached in a way more like a movie in how it's structured and how it's put together,
like a theatrical release. Yeah.
But anyway,
interesting in both the animated series and.
I've now said something that wasn't about the aesthetic.
The New Adventures of Batman. I'm going back to the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And New Batman Adventures is it's a Miller influenced Batman. He's big and bulky.
Yeah.
And it's not until Justice League that we get that kind of like acrobat physique that we have through the 70s and 80s until Miller shows up.
That's a good point.
They like a big barrel chested Batman. That's not really my Batman.
You know what, though? It was obnoxious with the action figures with Justice League. I hated that because they were all, like, really thin and slender, and they didn't stand. And they drove me insane.
This is our second film with Dan Delaney?
That's right.
It's the first National Bank.
She is one of the great, one of the best Lois Lanes. I can't say the best. There's some contenders, certainly.
I think she's the best.
In voice acting.
I think she might just be the best. I think Amy Adams has potential until she gets a good script.
Well, I mean, I'm old fashioned. I really like the Adventures of Superman Lois a lot. I don't know that we ever
The black and white show?
Yeah, I don't know if we ever beat
I've
that.
never really gone back to that. So
okay, sure. That's Noelle Neal.
And Clancy Brown.
Who I got to see in person a few years before she passed.
And I've told you before that the original Lois, the one before her,
right?
I was briefly tangentially related to.
Yeah.
A like grand uncle of mine who was a DP in Hollywood. Yeah, who was a DP in Hollywood was married to her for a brief period of time.
Wow.
So that's a thing, right?
I love the architecture.
So Mercy is kind of this show's Harley. She is an original female character,
and that was
who's
the
a
thing
minion.
I didn't know until you mentioned it. I don't know why. Somehow or rather, I missed that. I never realized that Mercy was invented by this team.
So we're gonna have like a Harley Mercy thing throughout this,
which is fun.
Which is fun because they're two original characters. I mean, there were other original characters they created, but
and obviously Mercy didn't catch on like Harley did. And how would she? Why would she? But she is a character that I think is liked by a lot of people, and we
didn't make a big deal when she came to comics, but she's been in the comics,
right? And we had her in 3 seasons in Smallville, and hilariously took that name and made it a last name and called her Tess Mercer, and then spoiler alert, made her a Luthor because of course we did. I said this in the rewind. I think Joker has a couple of his funniest lines in this. Out of all these shows,
I like the Joker's eyes. Talking just about aesthetics, I like the Joker's eyes.
The soundtrack goes to some old school Warner Brothers cartoon places that it doesn't always go to with the Joker. It's almost like this might sound weird. It's almost like we scored the Joker in this show as if he was a Superman villain. What I mean is, and I don't think this is the point I've made. Yay! 10 minutes in, I'm making a point I don't think I've made. It feels like this is what the Joker feels like in the daytime, and we don't get to see him that way a lot. And he's still the same character, but he's trying to take down Superman. He wants to be a Superman villain, and here's what a Superman villain Joker would sort of feel like. We also were hip deep in this period where we were doing so much love letter to old Warner Brothers cartoons, and you're not going to go to that place in the score as much in your dark gritty Batman show. So with the Joker in that show, of course, we have like carnival type music, you know, da 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 da. But there's a dark overtone to that. Something that this doesn't fully make work, that I don't know that I've ever seen totally work, is Lex always feels like an idiot for teaming up with the Joker. I hardly ever buy it that he would be dumb enough to do that. I also have that issue with this that I have a lot with Joker Lex team ups, where I'm like, why does Lex even think he can pull this off?
Well, because he's got solid thing kryptonite.
Right. So why not just take it from him?
Because he's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember feeling this miniseries substantially influenced Hush when Bruce goes to Gotham.
Yeah.
The way Loeb writes the three of them,
You think
I've always thought was really
they're
influenced
looking
by
at this?
Yeah.
Okay, now look how much more jagged the face is with Bruce and the eye style. Those are the two big places where the character models are quite different.
Yeah, the eye style is different, but on Clark, not like Lex doesn't have eyes like that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You have... What I'm saying is we have taken the Batman Season 4 aesthetic with Bruce and put it in their show. So, like, everybody else in their show is consistent with their character models. But look, he comes in and he doesn't look like they do. You don't see it.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I feel like he does look like they do.
Yeah, I don't at all.
Okay.
I think you put those two on screen together, and it's really interesting to see the blend of styles. It's not even a problem. I just think it's fascinating to put those together. The Superman style we were I don't know if I want to say improving on, but like we were building on that Batman style. But I don't agree with you when you say that when we went to New Batman Adventures, we took the Superman style and made it that. I think it's a different style.
Okay, I've always thought that was that they're like, okay, we'll do Batman like we did Superman. It's all super simplified the way Superman is. I mean, it might be slightly different because it's the Batman take on that, but
it's more simplified.
Okay.
And I don't see the Superman models as more simplified than Batman animated series, really.
Oh, I think they're a lot more simplified.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's a fun gag.
Yeah, pogo sticks are always funny.
Yeah. But using pogo sticks to take people out?
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's great. Now you notice, now that we're in a setting that is more of a Batman-esque setting, the music sounds like we're in Batman's world again. I like that alien spooky stuff.
That's a weird choice. I'm not saying I dislike it, but it's a weird choice. The alien, like,
the alien spooky stuff. That's a.
Ooh, I like the foaming at the mouth
or whatever. Yeah.
That makes it look scarier.
It's a theremin. That's what that is. The animation in his face there was real tickish.
Do you think that's ever
Yeah, a
gonna
lot
come
of
back?
crazy smiley faces in that show that looked like that. Is that right?
Do you think that's ever going to come back as like a big instrument? The theremin.
The theremin? I don't know if it was ever a big instrument. Really.
Do you think it will have its day?
Do you think it'll start showing up in popular music? To be honest with you, I think anything is possible. Nothing surprises me anymore. When we get to the day where if it doesn't have a theremin, people just won't take it seriously.
A fourth theremin,
it's not
quartet.
modern. It's not. Yeah. It's like a steel guitar in country music. You just gotta have it. It's gotta be there.
Yeah.
What is it with these shows and robots on spindly legs? They just love them.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it'll never be more effective than it was in New Batman Adventures.
No, it won't. As soon as you put a head on it. And then, just a few years later, 03 Ninja Turtles did it.
Do you know who designed Mr. Freeze? He did it for the animated series, and I have to assume he did a new design for
I
New
feel like
Batman
I knew
Adventures.
this at some point.
It might be Nola.
Yeah, okay. I did not know that, but that makes sense. Yeah.
You can really see it in New Batman Adventures, why I assume he came back and did designs for that as well, but he did some designs for the original show.
You think later we're gonna pay this off and those giant robots are gonna like actually fight the heroes? You think that might happen?
No.
Okay.
I think you're reading too much into that.
Okay.
You're overthinking it again.
I know, I have a tendency to do that. Something else maybe I've overthought, this is not overthinking, is, Lex...
Good
Lex
transition.
is... Yeah, I know. Lex has his,
I gotta get sunglasses! Why does he get sunglasses? It's night! Did you see him? He was
wears his
dancing.
sunglasses at night. No, Lex has his handkerchief in the shape of an L, and I always thought that was cool. I always like that. Well, somebody needs to take that screenshot and make it a meme. When Bruce like closes one eye and does this, how's that not a meme? How often do you see Batman in wearing anything, like in any situation, do this expression? Stained glass is always cool.
Yeah.
Especially purple stained glass.
He's back there.
Yeah. He's really cool.
I guess.
That guy just
It's a real weird like decision to make in the animation. But then again, you always hear about like animators get bored and they do things to keep themselves entertained. Like I wonder if that's one of those things, which is like, what if we put sunglasses on this guy?
The spotlighting your couple thing there is a real Disney move, and I like it a lot.
Yeah. I love him.
See, Bruce was doing a Bibbo impression a minute ago. That's what he was doing. He was doing that.
I love Bibbo.
I love that they even thought to put him in that show.
I love Brad Garrick as Bibbo.
I didn't even know who that was.
Yeah, it's Brad Garrick. He also does Lobo in the Super Animated series.
Yeah, and I can hear it now that you say that. Yeah.
And then they got Hughes, and everybody loves Raymond.
This is, I think, unarguably a precursor to the clubs that we'll do in Batman Beyond.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, that's a cool shot.
This shot is gorgeous.
Yep. It feels really year one to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good call.
That people of Gotham, you've eaten well. That scene.
I wish Binko had been the name of one of the guys that the Phantasm took out. Binko, your angel of death awaits. Also sounds like a name that could have been an '89. Like, Binko, time to pay the check.
Bingo,
Uncle
think
Bingo,
about
right?
the future.
It's your Uncle Bingo.
It's interesting because usually usually Batman in animation feels like 40s-y. This feels 70s-y to me, and I don't know why. Maybe it's kind of the disco club vibe.
And some of it, and strip
suits.
club vibe, because you've got girls in cages but fully clothed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I might have mentioned this in the rewind, but I thought that was kind of an interesting move where we're really skirting that line. And obviously we pushed envelopes everywhere we could with these shows. We're really skirting that line where you want this to be a real story and something that can be enjoyed by all age groups, but you don't want to water it down and dumb it down. So adults, I really think, and maybe I'm overthinking this, but adults are supposed to watch this scene and imagine that it's a real strip club. Which I don't think is hard to do. Okay, it's a more wholesome looking world, so of course those girls are fully clothed, but they're not really, right?
Mm.
Like, they're not actually.
Mm.
Oh, you peaked. No, Superman hasn't peaked yet. You don't even know Batman. You don't know what he can do.
What are you then? You want vigilantism in your town.
No, he's not a vigilante. He works with the police.
So is Batman.
Not in the same way. And the big difference is... I shouldn't have to explain this to you. The big difference is
I hate any time the word vigilante shows up in the superhero thing, because that no longer means anything in that universe, ever.
I disagree.
Okay.
I know you complain about that a lot. I think you have a hang up about it. I'm not with you on it. Real quick, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I always have to bring this up because it drives me crazy. Why would just liquid,
Yeah, just water.
water, alcohol, or whatever that is,
Lead-lined cup.
It's a glass, dude. I don't. It's not. Yeah. Anyway, why can he still stand next to that? That makes no sense. Anyway, no. Superman publicly works with law enforcement, and Batman does not.
Okay.
I mean, that's the difference. The Batman works with Commissioner Gordon, The public at large can't handle the way Batman operates because he goes over too many lines for them, and he does things the law can't get away with. Superman arguably sometimes will do that, and he'll be able to get away with it because he's Superman, and you can have an argument about that, and there's maybe a double standard there, certainly, but it's not technically vigilanteism.
All right.
If they're cool with it. You see what I'm saying?
Deputized
Sometimes they're too
citizen.
cool. Sometimes they're too cool with it. Well, and of course, anyone can citizens arrest someone.
I've always wanted to. That's a life dream of mine.
Is that on your bucket list?
It's on my bucket list to citizens arrest someone.
No. To be fair, I should say you could make the argument that Superman engages in vigilante behavior, but he doesn't have that reputation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. Because, I mean, the character models with that Batman show have darker, almost more sinister-looking eyebrows, and I think they also tend to have like unibrows.
Right, but I think that's a difference between Batman and Superman. I don't think it's a difference between model style.
No, it is, because everybody in that world looks like that.
Right, but that's because it's a darker, more serious place. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't feel like they look that different.
But they didn't have it that way before. Like the character models have changed from that show to this show. It's not a unibrow, but sometimes from far back it sort of looks like it. Yeah, a little bit.
I just don't feel like they're two completely different. Like, it's not like I'm seeing Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse next to each other. Like, it all feels, I don't know, like it fits.
It looks like it's designed by the same people.
Yeah.
But they're slightly different designs.
Where's everybody else? How come nobody else was at the plant? What are they doing? It's a bunch of empty desks.
She was working late? I think she even says that.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong?
Okay. This looked like daylight, but...
It might be like summertime and the sun doesn't go down till like 8 o'clock. I don't know.
I assume the plant's always full of people. At 3 in the morning, there's like 6 people there working on stories because Perry's going to chew them out if it's not in by Monday.
That's true. It's a big place. There's other desks.
Yep, and it's on purpose.
Yep. You're not even aiming that gun at anything. You're just like pointing it.
I'm really excited. It's my first time on a job.
Somebody finally handed me a gun. See that guy in the front? He just like looked like the happiest person to ever just be shooting. But he was like real nonchalant and chill about it. He was just like, yeah, murder. Yeah.
No one runs crime like this in Metropolis. I like these Gotham guys.
I'm gonna write that song. Yeah, murder. This is the thing I talked about.
Yeah, murder.
This is the thing I talked about in the rewind. Real convenient that was there, yes?
Yeah.
Just dropped right in that thing.
That's real classic.
Could have been a little bit this way, a little bit that. I'm not saying that Bruce Wayne wouldn't have survived somehow if he had landed in some other place, but that was pretty convenient.
Yeah, but that breaks, so it's not
that's
that
true. Well, no, I know, and that's true. It's still as convenient, but the stakes are still there. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. It's not made less convenient that he landed in it just because it broke.
Well, it's less convenient. It's not any less contrived.
Yeah. Those things are both true in that particular case. But yeah, I don't know if he was actually trying to kill him or if he was just shooting around him. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Hey, it's Turpin.
Dan Turpin, just get your eyebrows like occasionally trimmed, okay? Just every now and again.
Well, do you know who Dan Turpin is modeled on?
No.
Okay, so Dan Turpin's modeled on Jack Kirby.
Oh, okay.
Because when they bring Dan Turpin in, that's when they start bringing all the Fourth World stuff. So that's not what Dan Turpin looks like in the comics. Yeah. He looks like Jack Kirby. Right. That's why his eyebrows are like that, because Jack Kirby's eyebrows are like that. So you're complaining about one of the greatest comics artists in all of history.
Well, he could have shaved his
eyebrows.
Well, not shaved them, but cut them. I don't know. I didn't know that.
Is kryptonite that easy to break? Just a screwdriver and a hammer? Just... I mean, maybe it is. I never tried.
Yeah, kryptonite seems more stable than that a lot of the time. Right?
Yeah. It seems like I feel like any other time, like, you need, like, a laser to, like, cut off parts of kryptonite.
It's funny that you're giving me crap for making fun of his Jack Kirby's, like, face sake when they murder him. I'm just throwing that out there. They made it based on the Fourth World stuff so that later they could kill him. I don't know if that was actually intended, but
it's a plane in the plane.
They did kill him. This Batwing is really cool.
Yeah.
And yay for the classic theme there. Sounds great. I always had this thing where, even though, you know, it's a crossover and they own both these things, obviously, and they're the same people making both, it's still really cool just to hear that theme in that show. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's super fun. Did we ever do that in Justice League? Did we ever bring the old themes into the score?
I don't think so.
I don't think we did either.
I remember when Justice League premiered, because even as a kid I was kind of obsessed with, like, continuity and what counts, and not being sure if that was canonical with these series.
Yeah,
and trying to figure out because Batman looks completely different.
You're right.
And Superman looks different. He's got the lines that makes him look like 50. I've
and
never
again,
liked the lines.
They're all really super thin.
Mm-hmm.
Just that when the Joker kidnaps Lois, he ties her up in a bow, like, and it looks a lot like or just like when he kidnaps Montoya and Harvey Bullock in one of his first appearances.
Oh yeah, the Christmas with Joker or whatever.
That's what that is, yeah.
But doesn't Lois...
It's a nice little bit of continuity there.
Doesn't Lois always... Or doesn't Lois get tied up in a bow by Toyman? Is that a thing?
Maybe so, I'm not sure.
I remember. I love this suit.
Forget, it's been a while since I've seen it.
As a kid, this was always like a thing where, like...
What, the Superman suit?
The radioactive suit
yeah.
and his space suit. I love that Superman had suits.
Yeah.
We don't do that enough anymore.
We don't.
Superman
and I mean,
suits for different occasions.
It makes sense for him to have them. I like it when we deal with, yes, Superman would have to breathe in space.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a way to do with that.
He has a radioactive suit to protect him.
And they made action figures of these too.
Yeah. I love their spacesuit. It's so cool. I love the all white with the red ass.
You know, thinking more about the redesign with the Joker for that season, he looks older, and I kind of like that. Like, he's got wrinkles on his neck and stuff. It's almost like they made him thinner because he's older. They probably didn't, but that's kind of what it looks like.
You know, Superman, I could have avoided that.
That's true. You could have just jumped out of the way. You can, and that's always, and we don't do it with these shows, I don't think. But that's always the problem when you go to the like bullet time Superman, like the Smallville thing, where he is able to perceive time slower because he's moving fast, just so that we can actually see the things he's doing. But it does seem like he's got to be perceiving time slower. So anytime you get a situation like that, you're like, well, you could have just perceived time slower, moved out of the way. Again, I don't think these shows did that.
No.
But I'm just saying, that's what always drives me crazy about that whole thing. We're still doing the Theremin thing. I like it. I think it totally works.
Yeah.
There's probably some Joker places in animated series I'm not thinking of that do that.
Would the
Joker has a cell phone.
I don't know how radiation suits work, but would the electrocution shock go through the radiation suit to Superman?
I wouldn't think so.
Because I would think there'd be some rubber in there.
Yeah.
I would think it would be a lot of rubber, actually. So I don't know. Just poking holes in this movie all over the place.
Yeah, and is... I'm going to sound like an idiot when I ask you this question. Is lead a good conductor of electricity? All right, let's ask Google. I don't think it is.
I don't know science things.
But I don't think it's as much about the rubber as it would be about the lead, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a lead suit. So, like, if lead is a great conductor of electricity, then yeah, it'd go right through him.
Okay.
I would think.
I guess I'm not going anywhere.
I never got
Have
that.
a happy.
Yeah. have a happy, but she delivers it so well.
Luckily, I have a week in my utility belt.
What? That doesn't make sense. You're not making any sense.
This sounds like Ang Lee's Hulk theme.
Oh, kind of. Yeah, you're right. I didn't immediately find the answer to that, but it's not in a short list certainly, and I didn't think it was. I'm gonna be stuck on this. I gotta figure this out.
How come Superman ducked his head?
I actually thought about that when I was working on the rewind for this. I think that's how he broke the door open. I think he ducks it down and he breaks the door with his head.
Why can't he use his face? All of him is as unbreakable as
because A, it would look weird in animation, you know, and B, I think he's trying to block any debris or anything from hitting anybody behind him.
Okay, that's fair.
He's taking more space up when he ducks down like that, okay. And it looks dramatic. That's the real reason. It looks nice and dramatic.
I mean that is why he does this, right? Like he doesn't need to be doing this.
No, but if you were him, that's what you would do. It's nice and dramatic, but only because he's done it. It's chicken and egg thing. Would I think to do this? Probably not. If I
you know how sometimes he's doing this and they switch his arms?
Yes.
You know what I think is going on in his head when he does that?
They just get tired.
Oh, that's not what I've always thought. I've always thought it's like that self-conscious thing.
Oh, it's a shooting star. What's going on there? Oh, it's the Batwing. I'm sorry.
It's like the self-conscious thing of like I never thought, like, what do I do with my arms? Oh, this is weird. Like, this isn't... Is this what I do with my arms when I'm flying? I can't remember. That's what I think that is. That's what I think is going on in Superman's head.
I think he was just mixing it up a little bit, you know. Even Superman's muscles get tired.
Do they?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I feel like Superman could like stand forever and never. Superman can stand with his knees buckled and he'd be fine.
And of course, he's slightly closer to the sun when he's flying, so
yeah.
One of the big
a lot
things,
of versions of Superman only needs like an hour of sleep.
One of the big things I talked about in the rewind that I really appreciate about this movie is that we're able to make Superman. We're able to make Joker a good villain for Superman, a good foil for Superman, because he's unpredictable and Superman is used to going up against predictable villains. Logical villains. And there's this whole expect the unexpected motif.
Mm-hmm. And Superman's dealt with villains like him before. So like it's not like it's completely out of nowhere. Like Toyman in the animated series is not super far from the Joker.
Yeah, that's true.
I love Clancy.
That's true, but I don't think. But I think the argument is supposed to be he hasn't gone up against anybody maybe as audacious.
Mm.
And it's supposed to also be kind of difficult because of the combination of them. And Batman and Superman kind of hold each other back until they figure out how to work together.
Mm.
Most certainly. I've always liked the hyena thing with Harley. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't like the hyena thing?
I don't have an opinion on it.
Oh, okay. I always liked it because it's so random.
Well, hyenas laugh.
You would have... Oh, okay. I guess that's true. Yeah, of course, obviously. But okay. Yeah, duh.
but theirs rarely do.
Yeah.
Like
I guess I never put that together. It just seemed like the most random, vicious pet.
It's because they play their hyenas of course, like
obviously.
coyotes.
I'm gonna stop talking in this commentary because
But their hyenas don't like. I can't think of a moment when their hyenas laugh.
Yeah.
They play them more like coyotes than they do hyenas.
Yeah,
so
but then
I think it's fair that you because I don't think you ever see them laugh.
Yeah, but then they do they have like the hyena guy in Batman Beyond that laughs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And only laughs, like he doesn't talk.
Yeah, right? In Return of the Joker, yeah.
He's one of the Joker gang?
Yeah.
Well, and in the show, too, I mean...
I don't think he's in...
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure the Joker gang is established in...
Because there's a couple of Jokers in Return of the Joker that I don't think are in anything else.
Really?
Yeah, the Halloween guy is not in the series.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he's
lead is 7% conductive.
So that's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Because he's voiced by Michael Rosenbaum. Michael Rosenbaum, I don't think would be a regular on that show, or wasn't a regular on that show. He's also doing an impersonation. I can't remember which one, but he's doing an impersonation of someone when he's doing that role.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that when we get to it.
And the two girls are definitely not as the twins, because that's
Dee Dee and whatever.
Yeah, I think, is it Dee Dee and Dee Dee?
I think it is Dee Dee and Dee Dee, isn't it?
Yeah, Dee Dee and Dee Dee are Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And she definitely was not voicing those characters regularly, so. I like Mercy getting the drop on Batman.
Well, yeah, there's different groups of them. There are 2 groups before we even get to that movie.
Okay. Because the one that I traditionally think
Rosenbaum was doing a walk-in.
It's a walk-in.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Because I know when he does Deadshot in Unlimited, it's Kevin Spacey. He's doing the Kevin Spacey for Deadshot. Apparently, he would make everybody laugh doing impersonations, and then they'd make him do those impersonations for characters.
I also always like it when Batman goes up against Lex Luthor, because in so many ways he's the like monetary anti-Batman.
Mm. He's the anti-Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, of course. But like once he puts on a big battle suit, he's the anti-Batman.
Mm.
Because you got to have Bruce Wayne to have Batman, and he's a big rich guy, and that's how you have to have that. So I mean, he doesn't have a secret identity, but he still will do the, in some way or another, put on a costume to get what I want thing.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't do that all the time.
The big Daily Planet Globe.
Okay, now it's night, and there are people working at those desks, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
the big Daily Planet Globe, that's a constant. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Superman adaptation where that is not on top of that building. We've never tried to modernize it. We've never tried to tweak it. It is just a globe with a ring around it that says Daily Planet.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's expected.
Yeah. Well, we mess with so much else. It's also expected Superman to have the red underwear.
Well, BVS, we just didn't have a building outside anyway. So we changed it there. We just didn't have one.
Well, it was modeled on tour cinema. We were doing away with establishing shots.
Oh, okay, I see.
It was trusting its audience.
Right. We're expected to just imagine that, you know.
That's not how you spell laugh.
Yeah, we know. Yep.
I think it is how you spell laugh in Laffy Taffy.
Well, yeah, but that's also that's also like a stand-up comedy like house
like the
thing.
Laugh Olympics,
right?
And, yeah.
But I mean, like I think there's a number of establishments that are called the Laugh something rather than spelled that way. You killed Captain Clown.
You know, it's interesting because I think there's more of this in New Batman Adventures than there is in the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
It's really toyetic, right? Like, we get a lot of suits, and I love all of them. They never feel gimmicky. Like, we're gonna get Rocket Batman in a second. And it doesn't feel gimmicky to me. It feels cool.
Yeah. Well, and some of it is just because circumstantially you understand why they need those suits.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess Superman's like that too because Superman's got the lead suit and the spacesuit. But I like all of them. None of them feel like, well, they're going up against
threats where they can't just wear what they usually wear. Mm-hmm. They need something. Now, this isn't really a suit. I mean, it sort of is. He's got a different front,
I mean, it's definitely a different toy.
Yes, it's definitely a different toy.
How's he breathing?
What do you mean, how's he breathing?
He's going real fast.
He's Batman.
Okay. He's using Tibetan breathing exercises?
Yeah, I mean, you could still breathe. You're right. You couldn't take in as much air at once, and he's low enough to the ground. I buy it.
Okay.
I mean, I jumped out of an airplane. You can breathe.
He was flying on a rocket, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you ever flown a rocket on your back?
Yeah. No, I've only done the free falling. You know. I feel like I'm having to talk about.
For us.
I feel like I'm having to talk about a lot of like science and physics, and it's making me uncomfortable because I never know if I have any idea what I'm talking about. Like, oh no, Eric, as the science expert in the room.
All those people,
No.
they feel real ashamed right now.
Uh-huh.
The like 8 people that were on the life raft when Superman saved the boat, because you know they pushed and shoved to get onto that life. No, I'm the most important one. My life is worth saving. And then
If we were doing the 2 boats thing and I had the remote, you people are goners.
man, you know what I would have done? I would have just stolen this script and shot it live action and called it BVS.
That's a low that's low hanging fruit, Eric. I can't tell you how many people said that when I did the rewind of this movie. Have you seen Good Plot's picture for the podcast for this?
I
For-
don't
for the-
remember.
for the
I've seen a
commentary?
lot of Good Plots.
It's a reflection where it's this movie and then BVS is reflected underneath it. It's pretty cool. It's like lighter, iconic Batman and Superman, and then just like angry, hate each other Batman and Superman, and yeah, it's pretty great. He was making no point whatsoever with that picture.
I'm sure.
Nothing. I don't know why this guy cracked me up. Is he in the series? Do you see this janitor
I don't remember him.
as a regular character? There's just something about that voice that cracks me up. I feel like the whole building could be falling down and he'd just be like, "Hello, good evening, Miss Lane. Where's Mr. Kent?"
He'd be like that guy in BVS. Oh, get out of the building. The one that's falling. I hate that guy at the beginning of BVS.
I want that guy in BBS though. I don't remember the guy you're talking about.
In the opening scene, Bruce Wayne's talking to
I've only seen that
someone.
movie a couple times.
Bruce Wayne's talking to someone that's in like the Wayne Enterprises building. He's like, "Get out of the building!" The guy's like, "All right." And I was like,
yes, that's right.
"You didn't think of that yourself?"
I know, I didn't understand that.
You need Bruce Wayne to tell you to get out of the building.
Is this a commentary about like peons in present day corporations and how we've gotten to a point where people are so not allowed to make their own decisions they just stand there and die until the boss says they can leave? Is that where we're at now? Are we saying that corporate America has ruined our want to stay alive?
That's what we're saying. If we're saying anything,
Is that what we're saying?
I think so.
That it's destroyed our self-preservation
left.
instincts?
It
It just bounces. Yeah. This feels like a boss fight.
I think spiders
Or
are
a
inherently
mini boss fight.
like scary. Like I think there's a couple of animals that like just aesthetically are kind of inherently like
They
creepy.
go to spiders a lot in this.
And like
They would not have had a hard time doing a live script where you have to have a giant spider in the third act.
And like serpentine robots are a lot sillier and hard to do, I think, or look good. So I think we just go to spiders or insectoid at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're creepy, crawly.
Yeah.
They feel more menacing because they take their time to get to you, but you feel like you have no chance.
You're not going to build a
Right?
robot with like crocodile legs where it's like.
I'm a coming. The killer crockpot. I'm a coming.
Batman just zigzags.
He just jumps on his back. He's like what?
So that's why we do spiders.
That's the reason
Because we don't want a crocodile
the reason
robot.
we do spiders is because we can't. I'm a coming. That's why we don't have a lot of centipede bots either. It's funny too because we do a lot of like reptilian villains and stuff. Like reptiles are scary
But reptiles aren't scary when they're robotic.
when they're robotic. Yeah. Yeah. Are there other animals besides insects that we go to a lot with robots?
I don't
You
think
know?
so, because
Do we
even
ever
when
do
they're
cats
flying
and
ones,
things?
you build
Like-
them around like mosquitoes and stuff.
Yeah.
Although, before
Maybe
someone
bats
corrects us,
sometimes.
spiders are arachnids, not insects.
Right.
We
No.
know.
We got it.
Scorpions. We use scorpions for robots a lot,
That's
especially
true.
in Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's funny, because later there's going to be an episode where you're going to be Batman.
We do mix and match, right?
And he will be both of the people she's not crazy about. He'll be Clark Kent being Batman.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
How about you use your X-ray vision and just fly around the city till you find the part of the city you can't see? He's probably there.
There's an unusual amount of lead in this one portion of the city this evening. Unfortunately, I live in a city with so much lead, I can't tell where that place is. Why do people keep building these buildings with lead? I'm starting to think that
Maybe it's because you fly around looking at everybody's houses when you're looking for supervillains.
I'm thinking that either Lex Luthor owns 80% of the city, or people are sick of having their privacy violated by me.
But I can't know which.
Take a poll. That's what I do.
Post a poll on
I love this. I love this bit. I just love that he has this envy thing where he just needs things to be bigger than Batman, and I feel like, nothing against Arlene Sorkin, but I feel like she lost her Harley there for a second. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I never actually noticed that before, but she kind of drops out of the voice a little bit. Smiley handbag. I wouldn't have felt the need to point that out if I had remembered that there was an insert shot.
I want to be terrified, but I'm just not.
I just want that robot now. Dinosaur robots can be scary. Those are reptilian.
And we do a dinosaur robot in an episode of Batman where he gets the giant dinosaur robot, right?
Does he actually get the giant dinosaur robot in Batman?
I thought.
Is that a thing? I just don't recall.
There is an episode where there's robot dinosaurs.
You know how toilets are always funny? Yo-yos to the face, also, always funny. And it's weird because Joker's going to more toys in this than he ever does. Well, collectively with him and Harley, right? You got a pogo stick and a yo-yo to the face.
Okay, so bear with me for a second. In Sailor Moon...
I'm Baron.
In Sailor Moon, there's a guy that she's in love with, and he like is a superhero, and he's Tuxedo Mask. And he's Tuxedo Mask.
That's one of his best lines in everything. I love that. What's that?
Because he made teeth.
And it's because he looks at the camera, and it just cracks me up when he does that.
But Tuxedo Mask's whole gimmick is that all of his weapons are toys. Like, he will routinely hit people with
yo-yos and things?
Yeah. And tops. Doesn't fit the theme of planets at all. I've never understood what Tuxedo Mask is. In the second season, he's Moonlight Knight. He's all Arabian looking.
I have a whole thing in the Rewind about how... One of the reasons I like the Joker looking at the camera is because I have a whole thing about how... specifically in this, a lot of characters seem to kind of know what the formulas are, or for both of these characters, with respectively wherever they live, and so like some people get surprised because the formula here in Metropolis is a little bit different than it is in Gotham, but like the laws of physics are almost different because they live in a comic book world, and Joker seems to kind of like know that almost as if he knows there's people watching. It's I kind of like it when he looks at the camera, and it's not straight up fourth wall breaking. He's usually looking at someone when he does that, but it's fun, and it's so old school Warner Brothers cartoon.
Lexi is something that like LexCorp probably like keeps using, right? Like it's like the new Lex phone. It's sleek and Lexi.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's great.
How'd you know that did that? Nothing's labeled.
I don't know how Batman operates anything in his Batcave.
Well, I assume he memorized all of it. The Joker's in a machine of not his design.
He's a technological genius, and you can just tell that must be.
He is. If you look at the DC trading cards, he has a genius level intellect.
But you've said that everybody has that.
Yeah,
nearly everybody.
I want to get a set, and I want to make 2 stacks. One's genius level intellect characters, and one's not. Because Because I bet you it's
it'll
like
be
this.
and it'll be just the people who are known for being idiots, right? It'll be
Yeah.
just like the Killer
Yeah.
Crocs and the Solomon Grundys, and you're either a genius or you're an imbecile. There's freaking nothing in between it all.
Oh, can you mix chemicals? Genius level intellect.
Yeah. Can you cook a steak? Genius level intellect.
The stands are real low in the DC universe.
They are. Yep.
I blame the parents.
I blame the Marthas, really.
Yeah, all
Both
the
of
Marthas.
them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can we retroactively in the current DC Cinematic Universe? Can we make everyone's mom named Martha?
I would love that.
Flash's mom is Martha.
Just everybody.
Aquaman's mom is Martha.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We could say that somehow Martha, that Martha is a romanticization of Hippolyta, and so her mom is Martha.
Cyborg's mom is Martha.
Ooh, that was fun.
I love that a lot. These robots are programmed for Superman's weakness of caring about people. Now, of course, where that breaks down is Batman would also not punch that girl in the stomach, I don't think. Maybe he would. Maybe he would. Maybe that girl.
He might punch her in the face. Batman punches people in the face. He doesn't care.
He does. No. She's working for Lex Luthor. He's doing evil things. Batman doesn't care. Even if her name was Martha, Batman doesn't care. It's the Lex Wing.
Did he name it that?
Didn't know Lex Luthor liked Star Wars. That's got a...
This feels real.
That looks a little bit like that robot in RoboCop.
Yeah.
In the head.
I was.
But not the spindly legs.
How come it wasn't affecting you before?
I know. All you gotta do is maybe it's made of lead and like going through it just in him being here and the thing being here. Maybe. It's the best I've got. I also talked in the rewind about how Joker's motivations are a little bit
I like that.
Confused in this, and yes, you could always chalk it up to he's just a crazy person doing crazy things, but there are moments of lucidity where you can tell that he's really on about something, and he's got this whole thing with Lex and ownership and wanting to get revenge on Lex by destroying everything that is his, but I'm not really sure why he's doing that. I've talked about these things before. Anyway.
I like that he takes the plane up and loops it around like an 89, and he makes a smile on the moon.
It's pretty great.
It's great.
I wish he held it for a minute because I wasn't sure if it was intentional.
I don't know, but I'm gonna assume it was.
See, he doesn't know what all their switches do. He just knows what ignition. Maybe ignition. We don't get to see it. Maybe ignition is just such a differently colored button. Maybe it's the biggest button there. That could also be the self-destruct pretty easily if it had one of those. I don't know why Batman doesn't do that kind of thing all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Batman having Catwoman claws is the good idea.
Yeah, he could just scale walls like Spider-Man.
Because he's going to do that right now. Well, not, like, real well, but he's doing it.
So does he just have, like, underneath the glove, are there just, like, tips on his fingers that then go, like...
Like, how do they protrude? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm applying thought to something that's not meant to be thought about.
That's right. It's a real Wolverine claw kind of thing.
Well, does he just have, like, metal caps, and then they, like, telescope down, and then they come out?
I don't know.
Are they real uncomfortable, like, in all the times when he doesn't need them? Like, he's like, oh, why do I have these claw finger things? And then, like, right now, he's like, that's why I have the claw finger things.
But doesn't this feel deliberately plotted like a film?
Yeah. Is that door lead? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the whole building's made out of lead.
You're right. I mean, that's immediately how you should know where the bad guy is.
I was going to say, the whole thing with that robot feels very...
I'm sure all that radiation isn't bad for the lake or the river.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Feels very... Fletcher?
Fleischer. Yeah.
Lost the name there, yeah. Fleischer. The robot thing feels very Fleischer.
Well, and Sid, I was going to say this earlier, so does the Lex Wing, because it's so blimpish, and of course they're really into Zeppelins and in blimps in this show.
Zeppelins are cool.
But that feels like kind of a fun hybrid where it feels futuristic, but it also feels real throwback.
Which is where Superman the Animated Series kind of lives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially these like ultra photorealistic shots of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so redundant to ever even mention when these shows feel like Fleischer, because that's where they begin. But
I kind of wish there was a moment where Superman threw that at something like a batarang, because it's shaped like a batarang. The Lex Wing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, or he threw the Batwing at it.
Yeah.
Because it actually is shaped like a batarang. You just pick it up and he tosses it and it flips around. And we shoot it like way far back where it just looks like a batarang.
Yep. Do you need two? That feels like that's going to get tangled up and you're going to die faster.
Yeah. I love his reaction here, though. And, of course, the reason he's laughing is because he knows somehow or other this will not kill him.
Because nothing kills him.
Or somehow he knows how he's going to get out alive, but I like to think it's because he knows how the formula works. I love that way. That's great. There's a part of me that feels like that should be crossing a line or something. Not in like a gross line or something, but just Batman's being too funny, but I like it. I think it's funny.
And he also knows the formula and knows the Joker's not dead.
Exactly. Yep.
Despite the sun-sized explosion we just saw. Is it chasing them? It's like the explosion was reaching out.
The thing I like about this being called World's Finest is that, maybe it goes without saying, but it is one of those stories, like it totally deserves that title.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you go back and look at that book, this is what those felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real quintessential, precisely what you would expect to do with those things, like to almost kind of a predictable degree, but it's so effectively done. It's like, of course it's Lex, of course it's Joker, but also, when I've talked about this before, but I want a cheese sandwich. We've talked about this before, but we went so long before we finally crossed these characters that that's what you'd want to see.
Now, I don't know how laws work, but
that's okay. I don't know how science works.
Her most recent crime is in Metropolis, so wouldn't she get committed to a Metropolis asylum? She wouldn't get sent back to Arkham, would she? Or is it because she escaped from Arkham that...
Yeah, they would have jurisdiction on that, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah, there'd be extradition and stuff, right? Like between states? I don't know if that's the right term for that, between states. Yeah. But when I've watched some of those shows about like people on the run, and it's not like wherever they get caught, they just go to jail there. Like,
but if they commit another crime in that place, like if you're in jail for murder and you break out of jail, and then you go to another town and you commit murder there and you're caught there, do you go back to the first jail?
You've got new charges now. I guess it depends on how the trial would work. This sounds like a Dan Torrey question.
We don't have trials in this universe.
No, that's true. And that's why it probably doesn't matter. So as I said, I mean, that's pretty short, and watches real fast.
Yeah.
That felt like almost like a Bat Chat length video, like just snap and it's done. But anyway, well, folks, thanks a lot for watching. We sure appreciate it. This will be a very short closing credit scene. List of credits. Superman, Batman showed up this time, but he's not usually in the show. I want to say Injustice is still using Tim Daly. I believe. Sure sounds like him.
Well, and that's more of
and
that's more of a bring back because he's unlike
Conroy. He hasn't done it as much.
Yeah, because he's not in Justice League.
No, but he is. Oh, is he not?
No, he's not Justice League.
Is that not Superman Justice League?
No, Tim Daly. It's not Tim Daly.
Oh, I guess I never realized that.
They bring him back.
I don't know that show
for
as well as
one
I
of the
should.
movies.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a big deal. Like we got Tim Daly back.
Well, and maybe it's not in Injustice. I wish I hadn't said that because I'm actually not sure, but it kind of sounds like him.
I forget who does in Justice League. And I'm sure our comments will be filled with people telling us, but that's in the future when the Morlocks have risen, and
and the magma, which is not actually magma, but is in fact
Dark Energon.
Dark Energon from Transformers Prime.
It's not, as your science suspected magma.
I fear it is not magma. It's interesting how nobody picked up on the purple tint in the glow of the magma. But anyway. Okay, this is actually going on longer than I thought it was going to.
Of ink and paint.
What?
Someone's head of ink and paint.
Oh, head of ink and... I just couldn't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just heard 3 syllables I could not put together to make
That's
words.
the re-recording engineers. Those are the guys who come in and fix everything. If everybody else screws it up, they gotta re-record it.
Yeah.
It's their specific job.
They probably did more than anybody else.
See this? See what a nice speed this is moving at? If the Marvel movies could look at this and move their credits at this speed,
but still with the rows, because you need them.
Yeah, not like this, but you know.
Yeah, and I will say, I'm going to complain about this. At a font that large, it's hard to read. Like, it should be a little bit smaller. But anyway, well, folks, thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you again tomorrow with another with another Batmania. In the meantime, I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
Thanks for watching.